Have you ever felt completely lost, like the ground beneath your feet disappeared and the walls around you collapsed all at once? Like the life you built, the people you loved, the plans you held so tightly were all gone in a single moment. If you've ever cried yourself to sleep, whispered prayers that seemed to vanish into silence, then this story's for you. Her name was Emily, a woman who had everything she thought she could ever need until she lost it all. Her life wasn't perfect, far from it, but she had balance, stability, people she trusted, a roof over her head, dreams that seemed attainable. And then everything changed. This is not just Emily's story. It is the story of every heart that has ever felt abandoned. Every soul that has ever screamed into the darkness, asking God if he sees, if he cares, if he is still there. And just like Emily, maybe you feel that way today. Emily's mornings used to be bright, sunlight spilling through her apartment window, the aroma of coffee filling the kitchen. She would hum softly while getting ready for work, her daughter sleeping peacefully in the next room. She worked hard managing her own small business. It wasn't a huge company, but it was hers, and she took pride in it. Pride in the little things. Pride in seeing her efforts bear fruit. Her friends knew her as the dependable one, the woman who always picked up the phone, who remembered birthdays, who never forgot a kind word. But life has a way of unraveling even the strongest seams. It started subtly at first. A client who didn't pay, a small argument with her sister that left a silent rift, a doctor's appointment that brought worrying news about her own health. Then, one morning, her husband left. Not in a sudden fight, not a scream-filled departure. No, it was quieter, almost clinical. "I can't do this anymore," he said. "I'm leaving. Take care of the kids." And just like that, the home she had built felt empty. The walls echoed. The laughter vanished. She tried to understand, tried to negotiate, tried to beg, but he was gone. In the weeks that followed, bills piled up. Clients stopped calling. Projects fell through. The money she had saved evaporated faster than she could track it. Her friends slowly disappeared too. Those she had once leaned on for support were suddenly busy, distracted, unsympathetic. Some even whispered behind her back, judging, blaming, assuming she had done something to deserve this. Emily found herself sitting alone at the kitchen table at night, staring at the bills and empty fridge. She felt hollow. She whispered into the darkness, "God, if you're real, why? Why did this happen? Why did you leave me here?" Her nights were long. Her bed felt like a coffin. Every small sound in the apartment made her jump. Every knock at the door was a reminder that someone, somewhere, might want something from her: money, help, or worse, judgment. Her daughter, little Sophie, sensed the sadness. She tried to draw her mother's attention with laughter and questions, but Emily could barely respond. She wanted to be strong for her child, but every smile felt forced. The first signs of hopelessness. As weeks turned into months, Emily's world grew smaller. She stopped going out, she stopped answering calls. Even texting friends felt exhausting. Her apartment became her prison, her living room, a museum of memories that now hurt instead of comforted her. She wandered from room to room, sometimes standing in front of the window for hours, watching neighbors live lives she couldn't reach anymore. She tried praying. Every night, on her knees, hands folded, she whispered her heart to God. But it felt empty, like her words went up, but never came back down. She asked him questions she couldn't answer herself. Why me? Why now? Didn't you say you loved me? Didn't you promise you would never leave me? And the silence. Oh, the silence was deafening. One rainy evening, she stood by the kitchen sink, watching water drip from the faucet. Everything around her felt meaningless. The apartment smelled of wet clothes and old coffee. The bill stared up at her like accusing eyes. She thought about the life she had lost. Her husband, her business, her friends, her dreams. And for the first time, she considered giving up. Not in a dramatic way. Not in a way anyone would notice. Just giving up. She sat on the floor, knees to chest, and whispered to herself, "I can't do this anymore. I'm done. I'm broken. I'm worthless." Tears fell silently, unnoticed, uncomforted. And then a thought entered her mind. A single word. A soft, almost imperceptible voice. "Not yet." Emily froze. Was it her imagination? The sound of rain against the window? She didn't know, but it was repeated. "Not yet. Not now. Wait." She felt a strange warmth, like a gentle hand resting on her shoulder, though no one was there. Something stirred inside her, a faint hope she thought she had lost. Over the next few days, Emily began to notice tiny things. A neighbor leaving food at her doorstep, her daughter laughing and finding joy despite their situation. A verse in her old Bible, opened by accident. "Though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, For you are with me, Psalm 23:4. She read it again and again. It was like God was whispering to her heart, I have not left you, I see you, I am with you. Emily clutched the Bible to her chest, letting the words sink in. Her tears weren't just for sorrow anymore. They were also for the first hint of faith returning. She realized something crucial. Even in the midst of loss, even when she felt abandoned, God had never truly left her. Her world was broken, but her heart still had room for him. That evening, she opened her laptop for the first time in weeks. Not to look for work, not to scroll through social media, but to write. She wrote her fears, her questions, her anger, and her prayers. It poured out of her like rain from a storm cloud. And for the first time, she felt lighter. It wasn't magic. It wasn't instant healing, but it was a start. And in that start, she sensed something holy, something alive, something waiting patiently for her broken heart. It was small, it was subtle, but it was enough. Emily's first flicker of hope had barely warmed her heart when the full weight of her reality returned. Life didn't pause. The bills didn't disappear. Her husband remained gone. Her business was still crumbled. Her friends still distant, and the nights were long and heavy. It was in this silence, this emptiness, that she truly entered the wilderness. Every day felt the same. She woke to gray skies, even when the sun shone outside. Her apartment echoed with her daughter's laughter, but it felt hollow, as though a wall separated her from the joy she once knew. She tried calling old friends for comfort. Some answered and quickly ended the conversation. Some didn't answer at all. She began to understand there was a distance now, not just physical, but emotional. In the afternoons, Emily would sit by the small window in her kitchen staring out at the street. Neighbors laughed, children played, life carried on. She felt invisible, alone in the crowd. And every night before sleep claimed her, she whispered her pain to God. Lord, I'm still here. I'm still trying, but I feel so alone. Do you even see me? The silence that followed was thick. Her prayers felt like they bounced off the ceiling and fell into emptiness. It wasn't long before the wilderness brought temptation. A friend, someone she hadn't spoken to in years, contacted her. Emily, he said, I have a way to get back on your feet. Quick money, nobody will know, just trust me. Her heart raced. Her mind ran calculations. Pay off the bills, fix the apartment, buy groceries, survive. It seemed like the answer, the only answer. But a quiet voice inside her whispered, not this way, not like this. She remembered the first flicker of hope in her Bible reading, Psalm 23:4. Though I walk through the valley, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Emily took a deep breath. I can't, she said aloud. Her voice shook. Tears filled her eyes. I want to do the right thing. I want you, God, not just an easy fix. And she hung up the phone, trembling. Not because life was easy or it wasn't, but because she had chosen faith over fear, trust over shortcuts, God over convenience. The days stretched endlessly. Emily walked through her apartment like a ghost. Sometimes she didn't eat until late at night. Sometimes she didn't sleep at all. She prayed more than ever. She cried more than ever. And yet the silence remained. She started journaling her thoughts, not just prayers, but frustrations, fears, and questions. I'm tired, Lord. I'm scared. I don't know if I can do this alone. The pages filled quickly. Lines scribbled, smudged by tears. She questioned everything: her worth, her faith, her purpose. And still, a faint warmth lingered in her chest. A subtle whisper that refused to leave her completely hopeless. Occasionally, someone reached out. Not everyone was absent. A neighbor brought food, a colleague sent a small note of encouragement. Her daughter Sophie, innocent and bright, gave hugs that reminded Emily of joy. But these moments, though comforting, could not erase the ache of loneliness. Emily felt like a traveler lost in a desert, seeing distant oases but unable to reach them. She began talking to God, not as a distant father, but as a companion. Even if I can't see you, I'm willing to trust you, she whispered. And in that surrender, something began to shift. She wasn't healed. She wasn't restored. But the seed of hope planted quietly in her heart began to take root. One night, after a particularly heavy day, Emily sat in her daughter's empty bedroom, the silence deafening. She had just come from a job interview that went nowhere. Her bills had doubled because of unexpected expenses. Her savings were gone. Her phone, silent. She felt the weight of despair pressing down on her chest. And then, for the first time in months, she spoke not just in words, but in surrender. Lord, I can't do this. I don't have the strength. I don't know what's next. I'm broken. I'm tired. I'm done. But I'm yours. Take me, whatever comes. I don't know what to do, but I trust you. She whispered this prayer again and again, tears flowing freely, her body shaking. And in that darkness, a stillness came. Not immediate relief, not instant answers, but a presence, gentle, undeniable. A whisper that felt like it was spoken directly to her heart. "Emily, I'm here. I have not left you. Wait and watch. I will speak." The following days were strange. Nothing had changed externally. Bills remained unpaid. Her husband had not returned. Friends were still distant. Yet Emily noticed small signs. A verse on a billboard she hadn't seen before. A song on the radio that seemed written just for her. The smile of a stranger on the street. It was as if God was speaking in whispers, in small details, in subtle reminders. "You are not alone. I see you. I am with you." Emily began to walk more, breathe more deeply, and notice the world around her. She journaled every small blessing, every whisper of God, every moment she felt him near. Though the wilderness was not over, something inside her shifted. She realized the pain, the loss, and the silence were not the end. They were the beginning of something greater. And in that stillness, Emily prepared herself. She didn't know how or when. She didn't know what would come next. But she knew she would not walk alone. Emily had been walking alone along a quiet street late at night. The city lights flickered through the mist, and the damp air carried a stillness that felt almost sacred. She stopped at a small park, sitting on a cold bench. Her daughter's laughter from memory echoed in her mind. Her heart ached with longing, regret, and sorrow. Then she whispered aloud, almost as if daring God to answer, "Lord, I can't see you. I can't feel you. I don't know if you even exist, but I need you. Please speak to me. Show me a sign, just one." The wind blew softly. Leaves rustled, and then she heard it. A voice, gentle, calm, tender. Not loud, not commanding, but clear, unmistakable. "Emily, I've always been here. I never left. I see your pain. I see your heart. You are mine." Emily froze, her eyes filled with tears. She thought she was imagining it, but the warmth in her chest, the stillness in the world around her, told her otherwise. "I am with you," the voice continued. "Even in the valley, even in the darkness, I am with you. Your losses are not the end. Your pain is not wasted. Trust me and rise." Emily sat on the bench long after the voice faded. She wept. She prayed. She whispered thanks. For the first time in months, she felt a real, tangible sense of peace. It wasn't as if everything was suddenly fixed. Her husband was still gone. Her business was still crumbled. The bills still waited. But something inside her shifted. Her despair had been replaced with hope. Her fear replaced with trust. Her heart, once heavy, felt lighter. The next morning, Emily opened her journal. She wrote the words she had heard over and over, letting them sink deep into her soul. "I have not left you. I am shaping your heart. Trust me. Walk with me." She prayed for guidance, for courage, for strength. And each day she tried small steps, walking a little further, smiling a little more, noticing God's subtle signs around her. Weeks passed. Emily began to rebuild. Not instantly, not perfectly, but step by step. She started reaching out to people she had once avoided. Friends responded, some with apology, some with encouragement. She made connections in her community, volunteering and helping others even when she had little to give. Her business slowly reopened, one client at a time. The first table she sold after months of struggle brought tears to her eyes. It wasn't about the money, it was about the reminder that God had provided, that he had never abandoned her. Emily noticed changes inside herself as well. Her patience deepened, her faith strengthened. Her heart, once heavy with fear and bitterness, now held gratitude and joy. And she realized something profound. Her suffering had not been in vain. Her loss had prepared her to become a source of hope for others. One afternoon, while delivering supplies to a local shelter, Emily met a young woman sitting alone on a bench, weeping quietly. Emily sat beside her. She didn't rush with advice. She didn't offer empty words. She just shared her story, the pain, the loss, the whispers of God's voice, the slow steps toward healing. "I know it hurts," Emily said softly. "I know it feels like God has abandoned you, but he hasn't. He is with you even now, and if you trust him, he will speak to you too." The young woman listened, tears flowing. A spark of hope began to shine in her eyes. Emily realized then that God's voice had not only healed her, it had prepared her to guide others. Her wilderness had become a place of empathy. Her silence had become a place of listening. Her pain had become a bridge to others' hearts. She prayed quietly that day. "Lord, may I be your hands. May I be your voice. Use my story, use my heart, to remind others that you are with them too." Months turned into a year. Emily's life was far from perfect. She still faced challenges, setbacks, and moments of fear. But her perspective had changed. She no longer measured life by loss, but by trust. She no longer measured herself by what she had, but by whose she was a child of God, redeemed, seen, loved. Her mornings became bright again. sunlight spilling through her apartment window, but now it carried a promise. Her daughter's laughter was a reminder of God's goodness. Her journal overflowed with prayers, gratitude, and reflections. And Emily spoke of Jesus with conviction and tenderness. She shared her story in small gatherings, online, and wherever people were hurting. Her words brought comfort. Her testimony brought hope. She understood now, even in the valleys, even in the darkest nights. Jesus speaks, Jesus heals, Jesus restores. Emily's story is a reminder for all of us. No loss is too great for God to redeem. No silence is evidence of his absence. Every heartbreak, every trial, every moment of despair can be the soil where faith grows. If you feel lost, abandoned, or broken today, listen carefully. Jesus may be whispering to your heart. I have not left you, I am with you. Trust me. Wait, rise. Type amen. If you believe that Jesus is still speaking, still healing, still restoring,